guys, welcome to Joe Shark's Fish Keeping first video. Today I'm probably going to explain how to do a water change for your fish tank, because there aren't enough videos. Why am I holding a pocket knife? Sorry, I fidget with that sometimes. Anyways, so today we're going to be explaining how to do a water change properly, because I've seen people failing at it miserably. People literally cleaning the substrate, doing all these things wrong. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have the right stuff for a water change. So that means having a gravel vac. I probably should have put these next to me, and a couple of 5-gallon buckets. So I probably should, as I was saying earlier, I probably should have put those next to me so I can give you a visual representation of what those are. You can have an electronic gravel vac, but those I have found do not work. There are certain gravel vacs that do attach to your bathroom sink, so if you have one close to your bathroom, you can put that gravel vac close to your, on your sink. There are a couple that do that, and then you can pump that in using that same thing. The same goes for the tub or kitchen sink, as long as you have a sink nearby some of these. And the majority of those kinds will refill without disturbing, like your Sandio substrates and your aqua soil, which, it's absolutely perfect for that. But I don't recommend sucking stuff up with your gravel vac, like sand or aqua soil, because I have got my gravel vac clogged up on my rare fish tank. So I have my normal 10-gallon over that way, and then I have my rare fish tank in the kitchen. So my rare fish tank is the one that escaped all the way. I put live plants. I have a nice floating system going. That one has all the aqua soil. So I usually will take like a skewer, the skewer that you'll put a kebab on, and I'll just stir that up, suck all the dirt out. Boom. And I don't often go all around that trying to get all of the bad stuff, because going around place by place where all the plants are, you'll just destroy the root systems. It's not good for the plants. And I want as many plants as possible. I want it to look as good as possible. And you can do those kinds of tanks without water changes, believe it or not. And that's the next part that I'll go on to, is aquascaping and water changes. Now, when you do aquascaping, you'll probably, if you have a scape that's going, you can sometimes, if you have enough plant to fish ratio, and so you want your tank to be understocked, so you want less fish than there are plants. Right now, my in-laws have just bred in my 10 gallons, so I gotta sell those. Well, I'll talk about selling those in another video. So plant to fish ratio, you want less fish than there are plants. So I have 3 neon blue rasboras and a betta fish in my rare fish tank, and I have, actually that's my planted fish tank, so we'll talk about that planted fish tank. It's relatively understocked for a 5-gallon. These are nano fish, and they live together just fine. I know they're small fish, so do go for that. But you want less fish than there are plants. Period. You want them, that way you don't have ammonia spikes either which way, because too much or too little ammonia is honestly really bad. You do not want too much ammonia in your fish tank, because that will kill your fish. They will literally be burnt to death, cooked to death, if you want. So you can do that. Now I'm going to say something for beginners. Now I know some of you might think these tips are quite obvious. So one of the things that new fish tank beginners honestly do is, I've seen people with fish bowls where your betta fish is like, say this is the Batman action figure. It can't turn around, right? It has enough space to turn around, but it can't turn around. Now, that is overstocked by a lot. Your fish cannot be that big. That is perfect for a shrimp and snail tank, but people oftentimes will do this with these kinds of water changes. And same goes for the 10 gallons with just your average fish. they will have they will take out all the water, take out all the fish. And I used to do this too. And it's really bad. So they'll take out all the water and take out all the fish, and they'll clean the substrate. And I've seen people literally pour dish soap into their substrate. Now, never touch the substrate, never touch the filter. You always use a sponge filter. In my case, it's my favorite. Always use, and so never clean that part. You have beneficial bacteria that eat away at some of the poop. It just does good things. It's good. Just simply beneficial bacteria. It's like the stuff in your gut. It keeps you healthy. So, as I said, you'll know how to use a gravel vac because you'll obviously see it. Unless you just have a tube, like just a plastic tube. I do want to talk about how to operate some of this equipment. If you have like a plastic tube, you can just suck on it and just pump it into a bucket. And this is the second way of doing a water change that I probably should have mentioned at the beginning of the video. And this is the most common way as well. And so you'll suck it up and it'll pump into your bucket. And that's a good thing. That's legitimately a good thing. So you can have one that sucks up into your mouth, or you can have a pump. So you can, or an electric one, but electric ones, I hate electric ones. Never use an electric one. I have one, it's a piece of trash. So you'll have the ones where you can pump it with your hand, and then it'll just immediately start going. Now, when bringing it all back, I will often pour my water back in after the water change, with a bucket or with, or with this, for my 5 gallon, because you want 30% of the water out. So for my 5 gallon, I'll take 30% out and just pour all that water back with this, because it's on hand and it's great for just refilling your fish tank. Now, what can count as a water change is evaporation. Now, this does not excuse you from doing that water change every week. Every week for me. Now, you can do it every other week. Depends on what the fish keeper says, but I believe in every week because I like to have a lot of fish in my fish tanks. I like to see that environment moving, not like 1 or 2 fish. I want like 3, 4, 5, and right now I have way too many in my 10 gallon because my fish have babies and I don't like it. So yeah, take 30% out, and keep basically like and subscribe. That's it. I've got all the tips. I don't write scripts. I hate scripts. I like doing everything off the rail. Maybe I'll do a water change and trimming video. I'll talk about my favorite kinds of plants. This channel's new. Like and subscribe. Check us out for more of our content. I'll be releasing something every week about fish. Whether or not it's big fish, little fish, all fish. I'll just make a list of top 10 fish. And something like that. Just like and subscribe and we'll post more.